All right, welcome back to another episode of Road to William. Today, we got some guests on the show, as you can see. I got my cousin Ashley from Ivy Ball and Basketball Show, and we got John. He's also a member of the Ivy Ball and Basketball Show crew, and they be on there talking about highlights and all that. I'm gonna let them explain it a little bit, but let them know a little bit about you that you want them to know. And yeah, we'll start it like that.
I'm Ashley Abby Ballin, and my show is Abby Ballin Basketball Show. We talk about the WNBA and NBA and all the basketball news and the Bucks news, and I do movie reviews and I do NBA 2K videos, and we just talk about basketball breakdowns and our opinions. Me and John gonna do an episode about free agency, especially the Bucks. Oh, and I'm gonna do a video about the ESPYS and All Star Weekend. So those are some things that are coming up.
Yeah, it was good. It's Jonathan. Just like what Ashley said, I'll be Ballin podcast with her on her platform, talking about sports. I like to post about other sports too, what I'm saying, just everything if it's, interesting. You know, Baseball, football, college, just anything that catches my eye. And then I post it on the I'll be Ballin, what I'm saying, post or whatever. So page. So that's what I do.
Cool, cool. Yes, yes, y'all. Today we're reviewing a classic film, Jason's Lyric, and I had to bring some people on. And John definitely mentioned that this was one of his favorite films. So I did
Yeah.
want to start with you on what was a favorite scene of yours from this film.
Well, first thing first, I actually saw this at the movie theater.
Oh, throwback.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So
What was that like back then? Because it came out '94.
94.
Yeah, well, I
94.
was 1 years old.
Yeah. Lord, don't make me feel old, man. Dang. No, but you know what I'm saying? Back then, I was my auntie's a movie buddy. So she would like only call me. And sometimes she'll call her nieces and nephews, but mainly she would call me. She'd be like, "Hey, Jonathan, you want to go to the movies?" I'm like, "Yeah." You know what I'm saying? Auntie, shoot, free popcorn. It's kind of like what my daughter's going to do right now. Like free popcorn, free candy, free soda. Yeah, who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this was one of the movies, and so you asked me what was my favorite scene in the movie? I don't know. Probably when well the, the funny part was when uh Alan Payne's character was following Jada Pinkett's character down the street, and she was like, she's like, why? She said, "Why you following me?" She was like, "Come on, girl." And then she was like, "For all I know, you for all I know, you could be a gangster, and I don't do gangsters." And then he goes, "Look, girl, I ain't no gangster. I got a job."
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh my God. he was like, he was like, I eat chicken every day because my mama, I work at Frenchie's, and I had dreams about me growing, having me clucked like a chicken.
Yeah, facts.
Oh, yeah, so yeah, but that was like the funniest scene though. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
Eddie Griffin character was funny though.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. So
I forgot he was in it.
yeah. With that perm,
Yep.
don't touch my hair.
And Ashley, what about you? What was your favorite scene from this film?
I think I just enjoyed the different emotions
Mm,
and the different acting. Like Forrest Whitaker played his role really well. You
mm-hmm.
know, I feel like I like seeing different people like Tretch in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder why he stopped acting. He's been in a
Mm.
couple of stuff, from Naughty by Nature. Oh, but I thought the guy who played Joshua, the little kid and the adult version, Bokeem Woodbine. I thought they did excellent. So the scenes they were in, just the emotion and the acting,
Mhm.
But yeah, those were my favorite scenes.
My favorite scenes, I one really liked the music throughout the movie,
Oh yeah.
and because it was like that. I feel like a lot of older films kind of was more free, and it was um a lot more like soul searching in the films. But one of my favorite scenes was definitely the TV store when they was banging that night. I was like, that was my favorite scene.
Oh
Um,
Lord.
because it was very even in the garden. I forgot about the garden because I'm like older now. When I was watching, I was probably too young to be watching it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like rewatching is always funny because it's like I don't remember this when I was a kid. I don't remember that flower scene. I'm like, did I like not pay attention? But that was my one of my favorite scenes. My other favorite scene was their first date, and he's like cleaning her feet and all that. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's dope. They show you like a softer side, um, different perspective in a relationship. But I did want to um dive more into the characters because this film, after rewatching it, I realized that they're showing us like three different love stories in one, on top of the different characters and what they're going through. And I realized that they're showing us three relationships between Jason and Lyric, Gloria, who's played by the late Suzanne Douglas, Gloria, and Mad Dog, played by Forrest Whitaker. And then the third couple is Marty and Alonzo. Now, Marty, she played in one of my favorite movies, Love Jones. I feel like we kind of see a trend of like, not a trend, but we look back and see the typecast type of thing people talk about. And I feel like she was kind of like the typecast of the best friend, the homie. But she never was able to like get her love fulfilled. Like even in Love Jones, she was like trying to figure out how to be loved or have hope and love through her friend. The same thing here. I'm like, girl, you are a restaurant owner and you dealing with this gangbanger who he just trying to run the streets for whatever reason. He ain't got no real goals. So I wanted to break down one of the things first in the film was those three relationships. And what did y'all notice when you guys rewatched it, looking at the relationships now?
I mean, like as far as like Lonzo and the other girl's relationship, I mean, that's just typical hood love right there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, those relationships might not even last like that, but in their case, towards the end of the movie when she was talking to Lyric, she was like, I'm gonna hold on to him because he's all I got. So it's just one of the things where she probably didn't have no family, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And of course, with Jason and Lyric, it's just, that was just he was trying to prove to her basically just what like a lot of men, well, in my case, where if I'm dealing with a girl who's been cheated on, I got to deal with the trust issue. So it's just one of the things because again, she dealt with dudes from the war because again they always got killed. So it almost kind of hard to trust, what I'm saying, deal with that, So it just he had to prove that he wasn't like that. That's why he was like, I got a job, again, I got a job, So it's just one of them things where he just had to prove that love. Where Lonzo, he didn't have to do that. So that's basically it with that. And you said it was something else, right? Another love.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gloria and Mad Dog.
oh Lord. Um, I guess when she says she's in that one scene, she was like, Mad Dog didn't die that night. He died in the war because again, from what she said before he went to war, he was different. But once he came back with that amputated leg, he was different. You know, he started drinking, and that's how it was hereditary. Because again, you saw what happened with Joshua; he became an alcoholic. So it's just one of the things where there was the frustration when you bring liquor in it because a lot of people can't control it. You know, and it ain't for everybody. You know, and it sucks because alcohol does kill people slowly. So, and that's what happened with Mad Dog. He was so obsessively in love with her, you know, but that was his fault. You should have not had did what you did. If any human being loves another human being, they were willing to do whatever to make them to to make their relationship work. And Mad Dog didn't want to do it. He thought it was his leg, but that girl, but Gloria loved that man without his leg, even if he still would have had two legs, you know. But when you bring liquor and depression into it, what can you do? Don't A lot of people aren't going to deal with that, you know. So it's just one of the things, you know. Either you're going to change who you are, or it's done, and that's what happened. She was done. And again, they probably would have got married, but again, you could tell on the outside looking in that he chose liquor over that true love, which was Gloria. So, and that's why he thought he could have his liquor and her, but no,
You gotta choose.
yeah, exactly. You got to choose, and the majority of the time they choose their addiction more than the love they're supposedly love of their life, and which is sad,
Mm.
you know. Because again, if he would not have been drinking, he probably would have been alive.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. And plus, you got to think that was if I was a young kid like that, that would scare the hell out of me. Because
Yeah.
because if you grew up not seeing that shit, man, dude, it would frighten you. Because I know it would
Mhm.
frighten me if I was like a little kid, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, so ooh, yeah, man, he was crazy. But just like what she said, Mad Dog didn't die in that house. He died in that war.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it just one of the things where you can't have both, man. Just if she really loved if he really loved her, he would have gave up the liquor. Like, listen,
Mm.
I'll get this up for you because I love you. But he didn't do it.
Mm.
So yeah, so that relationship could have been again on the outside looking in, according to Gloria's words, she loved that man if he had even one or two legs. So it's just,
Mm.
it's so. But yeah,
You want me to talk about all three? Well, Gloria and Mad Dog. I'll start with that. Okay. Well, I feel like this is it's a love story, but it's just very tragic.
yeah,
Mad Dog and the war and PTSD and then the drinking. Like, John said, if he chose, Gloria over the drinking, then maybe it would have worked. But also, I think, you know, that's what people do. They go to vices when they don't know what to do. A lot of veterans deal with things that go wrong in their head, what they experienced, what they saw. And so I feel like this movie was a lot about mental health too.
yeah.
But you wanted to talk about the Trench character. His name was what's his name again? Oh,
Alonzo.
Alonzo. Okay, yeah, Alonzo and Marty, right? So you do kind of feel a little sorry for Marty, but I did like that. She was telling Jada Pickett's character lyric, like, go get your man. Because, you know, it doesn't happen a lot. So I like that she wasn't really jealous of Lyric and Jason's love. She's just accepted Alonzo's love, but it wasn't really the best love.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Even the sex scenes weren't even comparable. It said one's
Mm,
all nice and the other one's back of the house, and I
mhm.
was like, oh boy. I'm
Yeah.
surprised Jonathan's favorite scene wasn't Jada Pinkett showing a little
Oh yeah.
drama.
I mean, that was just a sex scene. It was, again, I saw it in the movie. I'm like, oh wow, Jada. But man, and
I
this,
wonder why she showed it though, because she
I
is.
don't know. Hey, that might have been a stunt double, to be honest with you. Because again, when they did it, they didn't really show a face like that.
Well,
Mm,
it did. She didn't really show a ton, so maybe it was her because it didn't show a ton. I feel like usually women
mm,
actresses that show their bodies, all the bodies, they're not really high, on the A list. They're more like C list. I'm just trying to get a job. So, but yeah, as far
mm,
as far as Lyric and Jason, it was great to see Jason pursuing, Lyric, and I was like, oh, so it's called
mhm.
Jason's Lyric. Oh, wow. So, I did see this when I was younger, but you know,
Mm,
um, you don't really remember it a ton. But I also was like, Jada Pickett is in a lot of black classics
No, yeah,
for
she
the
was.
culture, but they're really sad. Set it off, menace to society, on and
I,
on,
no,
tragedy. Like,
no,
what's
no.
going
Well,
on?
it's crazy. She was in like a lot of my favorite movies, like you said, Menace to Society, Jason's Lyric, A Low Down, A Dirty
Dirty
Shame.
Shame.
Yeah, yeah. So she was in
Mm,
like a lot of my favorite movies,
mhm,
but she just wasn't big time yet. She she,
mhm,
she didn't become big time until she did Matrix, and then that's when she was
mm,
in like a lot of box office stuff. So
mhm,
yeah, she came up. She went from a different world to like the movies, Menace to Society, you know, because
I
all the
like
movies.
Girls Trip because it was funny and
Oh Lord.
mhm,
it's no drama.
Yeah, oh yeah,
mhm,
But overall, the Jason Lyric, it was like, oh my goodness, Jason, leave already. I don't want to leave. Like,
mhm,
all the signs were pointing to leave. Jason,
mhm,
leave. Go get your happy ending. But no, my mom needs me. My brother needs
yeah,
me. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh
come
yeah,
on.
oh yeah, because he had got that job offer, and
yeah.
then he was then his manager was like, "What you mean you're not gonna take it?" And then he was like, "Is that brother yours? Is that brother yours? Ain't it?" Every time he get out,
Mhm,
you
mhm,
always he
I
cuts.
feel
Yeah, yeah.
that
mhm,
he should have chose Lyric over Joshua much
Oh,
sooner.
yeah, oh yeah.
It could have been avoided. But
mhm,
I think it was true love, and I
mhm,
liked how they were into, lyrics,
mhm,
poems. So that was nice. But
Hmm.
I think overall, it showed all of the relationships, like you were saying, because all of these three relationships, quite frankly, end in tragedy. We don't know what happened with Marty and Alonzo, but I just say they didn't make it. That's what I say. In the future,
Probably
they don't make it.
she probably got pregnant because remember she wanted him to get a condom. No, 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 for real, because you remember when she was like, "You got some jimmies?" He goes, "No, but that's all right." But then they still did it. So she probably got pregnant.
I wanted to focus on the three couples because, and I'll tie what you just said in because that could be another movie idea for them. But like, I noticed, well, looking at the three relationships, Gloria, Lyric, and Marty, they were like the way out for the men in this film. Like Jason is the only one who really took love serious. Whereas like even his father, Mad Dog, he was playing around. Ain't no way y'all had two kids and you ain't before that was like wanted to marry her. You should
Yeah,
have,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you be playing around. And
yeah,
now you were supposed to be there to show your kids how to protect and love, but they had to learn that against you, towards you, unfortunately. They had to protect their mother, they had to protect, their homes.
yeah.
And but I'm saying Jason's the only one who took the bait. Mad Dog didn't take the bait. And then Lonzo, I think this last scene kind of like switched his mindset around. Like all your friends are gone. Mind you, there are only two, three of them you got. They're done. You just see it. It's like in your face. Sometimes people are like hard headed in life, and like sometimes things like this, as unfortunate as it is, sometimes this is a way people wake up. And I think in this film, I hope for Alonzo's sake, he kind of woke up like, oh, maybe, I do got a good woman. Maybe I should take life more serious. You need to get out of that environment as well. Because a lot of times we see it in, the culture, it's frowned upon to leave your city because it's like, you should try and build here and what's wrong here, rebuild here. But it's like sometimes people need to grow outside of what they know. Maybe it's not moving, maybe it's traveling, maybe it's learning something new, a skill or something. But if you stay the same, that's all you'll ever be, and you're supposed to be evolving. And I think that like the women in the movie were evolving. Like Marty would had her own restaurant. Lyric, she could go wherever. Like she just had confidence in herself that whatever she did, she was gonna soar. And Jason like saw that in her too. I think they saw that in each other, because if she ain't really messing with him like that, she wouldn't have been like, let's go on the bus with a random nigga. No, that's not realistic. They showed you a more realistic side of love. Like it takes a lot of tries, and I think these examples in the relationship, it kind of gives you a realistic one, like you said before, like, oh, this is a typical hood relationship. And it's like, well, if somebody who's living in that environment right now or living in that situation, maybe they can see how from this film, oh, maybe I need to reevaluate. You know what I mean? Sometimes films can do that. Last point though, what you said, John, about would Alonzo change or not? What would happen with Marty and Alonzo? And you said they might have a baby jokingly, but that could be a movie where it's like they turned their lives around and now their kid is kind of facing the same thing and he
It's
got to
good.
talk his kid out or something like that.
It's
You know what I mean?
especially because I don't know if y'all remember, but too, Joshua killed his
Yeah, oh,
friend.
yeah. Yeah.
And again, that was the thing that weirded me out. That was one Lonzo's friends was Joshua's friend,
Yeah.
and he helped torture him. You remember because of the bank.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he said, Joshua looked out for me in jail. He be down four fools who's trying to take my stuff.
Yeah.
So this is how you pay him? Like, damn.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Um
So yeah, man, it's crazy.
I also want to focus on Gloria and Joshua because
Oh
what I
wow.
did, what I didn't like was, and I never liked it. Even the first time I seen it, I always thought it was annoying that Gloria, the way she treated Joshua, and how she would have Jason be the parent to Joshua. That's why
Yeah.
she was easier for her to kind of like push him off because Jason's there. And so for a while, she didn't want Jason to go either because she's like, oh, you ain't about to leave me here by myself with him. He's crazy. I was like, that's your kid, right? But even her, she realized like, okay, I want something better for you too. And we didn't get to see how the mother grieved her son. Even though they weren't close, I imagine she was heartbroken after that. But they kind of like, I wanted to get y'all take on it. How did you like the ending? Because it kind of like leaves it up to you. When I was a kid, I thought Lyric died. I was like, oh, she done. I ain't see
Oh
her
yeah,
in
I
the
did
bus.
too. Oh
But when
yeah,
I
so
got
yeah,
older, I was
because
like, oh, that's her little curly hair that was laying on the back. She sleep
oh
because she
yeah.
been shot. She needs rest. I'm like, oh, okay, bet.
No, it's crazy. I remember
Mm,
this
mm,
when Joshua accidentally shot Lyric. The whole house went, whoo, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Because it came out of nowhere. She was like, because he just went, ah, you
Hmm.
know, you
That
know,
was a
yeah,
crazy scene.
yeah, and then and then again, I thought she was dead because he carried her. You know,
Yeah.
she didn't really move at all.
Yeah. I was like, where is he passing up the ambulance? I was confused, looking up,
Yeah.
like, where are you
So
going? Um, and I feel like the brother Alonzo didn't care that his sister was shot. I feel like if I saw my sister shot, I'd be like,
well,
oh,
yeah,
he was, but
yeah,
he was taken aback by everything. But I'm like, if I was saw my sister though, I'm sorry, yeah, them my homies, but my sister, I gotta go. Y'all done.
yeah,
She still alive. I gotta go check on her.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, how did y'all feel about the ending?
I mean, of course, it was sad because again, like you, I thought Lyric was dead,
Hmm.
but she wasn't. And then, of course, when he was carrying her, all of a sudden you hear that random gunshot out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we knew that Joshua had killed himself.
Mm-hmm. This film definitely didn't push enough. But that's the time they were in. That's the era. Like you make a film now, of course somebody's like, hey, you should go see a therapist. Hey, you should no. It's all open. Everybody's like, yeah, let's go together. Whoa.
Yeah,
Back then it was like, you want to see a what?
yeah,
And so I think it's good to make films. It's always good to make films because it reflects the times, and I think it just reflected the time we were in, or y'all were in. No, I'm just
yeah,
I was a baby. I
basically.
didn't know what was going on. But it would just reflect the times that was going on. Like nobody said go see a therapist. Nobody said go see some help. Let's get you. But there's probably a little bit of help in the army, but even that has had to evolve. Um, but yeah, this was a good film. A lot of discussions can be had. Good rewatch. Good scenes. Good music. Is there any last things y'all wanted to say anything about the film? Is there any messages that y'all took from the film?
It's just that again, like Joshua's character, he claimed that he drank because of what happened. So because again, he said that they both had nightmares, and Jason, he still had nightmares until he got till he was older, until now. So, but Joshua claimed he don't remember. He was like, "I don't have them dreams anymore, Jay." Then he put out a random bottle. He was like, "And it's all because of this." And he was like, "It's just like garlic. It keeps the ghost away, but it makes you more crazy." Like, bro, that liquor wasn't for him. And just like that liquor wasn't for Mad Dog, he basically turned into his dad. So it's just that liquor is not always, of course, if you have a long day, you might want to drink or smoke, okay. But don't make it, an addiction, you know. So we all, a lot of people drink, a lot of people smoke, but don't make that stuff, your addiction or your way out, because things will get better. You just gotta pray on it, work on it, and it'll be better. Liquor ain't the answer, you know. Of course, we all party kicking, yeah, of course, but nah. Put the bottle down, get you some help, get talk to somebody that won't put their 2 cents in. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to really listen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to learn. So it just, that's the only message I could take. Like liquor ain't the answer, because again, if In the movie, if it wasn't for the liquor, Mad Dog and Gloria probably would have got married. So, and who knows what could happen with Joshua? You know, so. But yeah, they both had to go to therapy after that, though. They both had to go. But yeah, man, that's the only thing I can say. But yeah, though, like I said, it's one of my favorite movies. I watch it over and over. You know, because back then, I would go to my auntie's house and I'll ask her, you know, could I order on pay per view, and now we're like recorded. so, so I watched that movie over and over. So, so yeah, like I said, it's one of my favorites that I could watch over and over.
Did like how, they showed childhood and adulthood, and they showed the different personalities. Like Jason was like calming, but Joshua was more like, "Why can't you leave us the F alone?" and and I was laughing about that. But it kind of also the movie they waited to the end to tell you, who shot who, and it was, Jason who shot Mad Dog, but you would kind of think it would be the other way around. You'd think it would be Joshua because Joshua ended up way worse. And maybe it's because of the personality differences as a child, maybe. Um, or it could be because Joshua was so young, you know, younger than, Jason. But yeah, I like the back and forth. But yeah, mental health, it's a stigma in the community. Mad Dog needed it, Gloria needed it, family therapy, Joshua, Jason, the whole nine. But also, you gotta wonder how old were they in the movie? Because Joshua kept going to jail multiple times, and Jason continued to be there. It's like, when are you gonna have enough? I guess it took Lyric getting shot. I don't know. But why does it take bad things to happen for you to? Oh, I think I better change. I better leave. I better go. I don't know. But yeah, I thought I was kind of confused at the end. I was like, did Lyric die? And then they showed her on the bus. So it was kind of cool what you they kind of showed, I guess it could have been worse, Lyric could have actually died. Well, she got shot, but it could have been worse, right? So,
Mm.
yeah, those are my final thoughts, stop the cycle, you know, like you said, the alcohol cycle, the mental health cycle. It's like, when are you going to stop the generational curses? I don't
Mm.
know.
Yeah. And I noticed in the film, y'all know I love the color aspect of it. I kept noticing through the film yellow and orange. Orange is in the title of the movie poster, and I had to look it up. And they said like orange is usually used for like intense passion or protection. It's also used for destruction. So like I think that kind of uh gave it a good meaning to the film too, because it kind of showed you that. Also, the replay of them being kids versus adults, like the first time you kind of, just through the actions they did as kids, you kind of saw them going on different paths before the shooting. Like I noticed Joshua is the kid's character. He was trying to break he was breaking stuff in the streets, and he loved the hype. He loved the man dancing. I forgot his name.
A Fast Freddy.
Yeah, like he loved the hype of it. He loved where he
But
lived and
oh
all that.
yeah, oh yeah, drugs too. Because remember you remember
Mhm.
when they was kids. You know what I'm saying? He was the man, but then years later
Yeah,
he was on drugs. Homeless.
yep. And when he came back that same way, when they was coming back from getting picked up from prison, it showed you that same way they kind of took when they were kids, but now it's like showing you a different way back as the adults, and it shows you how the city kind of dwindled down. Flash Freddy on the street, he's still dancing for them, but now he dancing for pennies. And,
Yeah, that
he was just dancing for the hell of it before. Now he dancing for money. Like, what's going on?
drugs. Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of would have wondered what would have happened if Joshua was the one who shot him. Like, what would Jason's life have been like, and what would Joshua's life would have been like? But I don't know if alcohol was. I think it was his downfall, but I think he might have had issues beforehand.
With Joshua.
Yeah, I think it
He
was
had
like
like
something they didn't
rage
notice.
already.
Yeah, he already had a lot of rage in him. Even like that scene. Oh, it was a messed up scene to like, but I did like a lot of the gospel music they added in the film.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh yeah. When they were at that fair.
yeah, they were at the fair. And I think that was a sign for, well, where were they at? They were in Texas.
Houston.
Houston, Texas. Um, I think that moment when he was fighting, when Jason was fighting Joshua, like, and Lyric was trying to tell him, like, he apologized, and he's like, "You don't know my brother."
Yeah.
That's the problem right there. Like, you're so used to handling things the same way that it's like, ain't no way someone could have suggested anything for y'all to do for him, because y'all gonna handle it the same way. It's like the mom, she has sense enough to try and get him some help, but again, it's like it's up to the person too. But I
Exactly.
feel like he was still young. Like, they had to have been no older than what, 22, 23.
Exactly.
Ain't no way you throughout them years you ain't tried to do something, but he might have left the house. We don't really know what happened. We just know he been in and out. It kind of was like that Boys in the Hood feel. You like Doughboy been in and out and then the mama trying to get Trey to do help him with him. So, no, that's your job, Goofy. Anyway, that's your job. And I feel like Gloria was doing it in this film too. Like, oh,
I
someone else
mean,
do it. Someone else.
but at the same time, if we're trying to listen to her, then
Yeah.
that's why she probably asked Joshua to do it because he's younger.
Yeah, and if he would have left, I don't know what would have happened. It was like a messed up situation, but you're like, but now you can go be free, messed up wise. But um yeah, so that's pretty much the wrap of the movie recap. Go check out the film if you haven't. Go
Oh yeah,
rewatch it.
oh yeah, because I think it's on Tubi.
Yeah, it's on Tubi. It's free. Go watch it. It's a bunch of movies on there. And if
Man,
there's a film you
man,
want
that
us
movie
to
came
watch,
out.
let us know.
That movie came out 31 years ago.
Well,
Wow, Jesus, I'm old.
that's
31 years ago.
and
I'm
the
33.
director of the film also helped with New Jack City. And I'm like,
Okay.
oh, that makes sense. How, Alan Payne, I feel like that connection,
Oh
that
yeah,
bond
yeah.
would be easier to, and it's a
Hey,
different side, different movie. And Alan Payne doesn't get talked about enough, but he has a lot of range. Like,
yeah, yeah.
he used to do a bunch of movies. There are some movies I'm like, I don't know, he could have did better than that movie, but
Mm-hmm.
he was in all the movies. Like, and but yeah, this is definitely one of the classics to check out, rewatch. John, Ashley, thanks for coming on the show. Um let them know where you want them to follow you if you want to.
Got a Facebook group, I Be Balling Basketball Facebook group. Come and join the action. You know, post all the basketball and sports you want. And oh, follow me on social platforms at Ashley I Be Ballin'.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be on the I'll be balling page too as well. Follow me on IG at John Two Trill 2.0, and follow me on Facebook. Jonathan Harvey. And that's that.
Yes, yes. Go check them out and go check out the film, learn something, grow. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, listening to us. Peace.
Peace.